Patience is a virtue, virtue's a patience, in a state of the wise. The race is not the swift, but those who don't rush the fire. See them walking, see them friendly, see them young, see them flexing. Just you can look at it, rust of my trade, inspiration of life, that can be real. I don't know what makes them mentality to rise. When them supplicate and plus antagonize, visualize the youth, them advocating on my side. Them can't get to see and strive off my side. There is love, if you can feel it, let's tell them. And I'm calling, I'll get to you, please stand up and repeat it. Once we got it down, I'm gonna flip like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Me and the world champion, I can't stop from feeling low. Start with the breathing low, works up his majesty. Start with seeing low, go up and breathing low. Never lose feeling low. I listen last week, only we sing from crap up and paradise. Under the lies, we're turning the skies, cause they can't get a rise. So we faith in Rastafari, and there is love, if you can feel it. But you tell them, and I'm calling, I'll get to you, we stand up and repeat it. Once we got it sound, I'm gonna play like a butterfly, sing like a bee. We are the overtime. Happy getting, more love we happy getting, happy getting, more love we happy sitting. Say it alone now, more love we not regret it. When the show now, more love we are related. Say them a go and say them a fool, say them a feel it. Say them a what and say them a fool, say them a feel it. Where they so feel it. Power of the Trinity, the sign and see and there is love. If you can feel it, that's what tell them. And I'm calling, I'll get to you, we stand up and revealing them. Once we got it, the sound St. Thomas, I'm gonna play like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and be on the other child. See them going, see them friendly, see them young, see them next to because we get the chocolates and the rust of my trade, inspiration of life, that can be great. And my body hits them mentality reprise. When they supplicate and plus antagonize, visualize the youth, them advocating on my side, and can't get the signal, strive at my side. There is no one, if you can feel it, but don't tell them. And I'm calling, I'll get to you, please stand up and revealing love. Once we got it sound, I'm gonna play like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and we are the overtone. Patience is a virtue, virtue's a patience, in a state of the wise. The race is not the swift, but those who don't rush the fire. See them walking, see them friendly, see them young, see them flexing. Just you can look at it, Rasta man kill, inspiration of life. That can be great. When them want to use them mental to rise. When them supplicate and plus and compromise. Good late evening, family. Honey bunnies, good late evening. And I hope you all can hear me okay. Thank you for hitting the like button. Can you guys hear me okay? Thank you for joining me. I know it is late, so I really appreciate you guys for being here. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. So, let's get into it. First of all, I hope you all are doing great right now and that you've had a good weekend so far. I can tell you that I have been good. Although right now I'm low key hating and low key mad that YouTube got me on my computer because I don't have 1,000 supporters to be on my phone anymore. So I'm low key bothered by that. However, I went ahead and ramped up the computer, brought it to my bed. Not what I really want to have in the bed with me, but I felt like this was worthy of me doing so. So, my good brother, my good brother, of the Muslim faith, GabTalkMedia, did a rant earlier, right? And he was addressing quite a few things in his rant. And as you see, the title, Check Yourself, Fam, Stop Lying. So I decided to do a recap with his permission of his message because I felt like it was worthy enough to be shared. And I'm going to do my very level best to give it the quality, to give it the, how shall we say, the value, shall we say, that it deserves, right? So, long story short, a lot of conversations and everything that's going on YouTube and social media and everything, where people are pretty much kind of like contributing to the dysfunction of the community and of our people, right? And society, right? And using some of their talking points to air out and highlight some of their own dysfunctions and some of their own lacking in their lives, and while they're aiding and abetting the dysfunction, um, kind of shaming other people and pretty much aiding in the unrighteousness. And Gab Talk Media, my brother Gab is pretty much saying, hey, everything is not how you make it out to be. Everything is not, some of the, there's wrong among the men, there's faults among the women. And we could sit here all day and all night and try to address it, but it's not that one gender is responsible for the dysfunction. And also it's not that everybody that's doing all the talking has it right. So along with that, he's also saying that some of us, some people are not willing to just let the dysfunction continue, and are not willing to are not willing to not say anything on some of these talking points, and they're not willing to throw everyone away that doesn't fit into your lifestyle, or are not willing to throw everyone away that has not reached the caliber of life
or caliber of success that you deem worthy, right? Hold on a second. Excuse me. Excuse me for a second. What's my password? And what it boils down to is, in a lot of the cases, what it boils down to is morality, nature versus nurture, morality versus immorality, righteousness versus unrighteousness, right? And also, many people nowadays talking very strongly against religion and talking against those of us, because I'm included, talking against those of us who have a faith in a higher power. Pretty much kind of like putting it under scrutiny and saying that these things don't work. However, it works for us. And it kind of helps us from continuously aiding to the dysfunctions and the brokenness of society, right? It helps us. Welcome, Gab Talk Media. It helps us. So, with it helping us, you know, don't try to take away something from someone that's actually helping and actually benefiting because you it's a proof of it, or because you don't see or have not even tried our method. And basically also the things that we talk about when we talk about our faith and lifting these things up and how they help us, it takes work. And the work that it takes, maybe a lot of people are not willing, or some people are not willing to do it because of your lack of willingness to try it, and your lack of willingness to do it does not make it none and void with us. And it doesn't make it, um shall we say, it doesn't make it not possible or not flexible and not workable for other people. So don't just crap on it. So one of the things that like he mentioned, fasting and meditating and praying and being a part of different faith, and no one faith having all the answers. However, what we do know of it, and those of us that apply what we know, how it does benefit us. And so while you're trying to crap on it, you don't have anything to replace it with to say, okay, yeah, well, this works, right? And so while the junk is continuing, pretty much what he was saying, and I co-sign this, is that those of us that do have a moral code, those of us that do have a standard and want to be a part of cleaning things up and making things better, not saying that we're better than anybody, but saying that at the same time we're not sitting by and just doing as we will, and and then whatever crap comes from it, being like, well, that's just a part of life, or that's just a part of nature, that's just the way things are. We're saying no, actually, you do have some control over what is happening in your life. You do have some control over what is happening in your family and the things that are up under your guardianship, be it your family, be it your job, your careers, um, your activities, your leisurely. Like, you do have some control over these things. And to say that you don't have any control over these things is actually disempowering yourself. And then you want to put everybody else under this same blanket, and we're saying pretty much cut the crap, cut the crap. And then also, for some people, that's like high siding. You get online, people get online and they act like their life is like just totally all together 100%, right? They're crapping on other people and trying to make other people look like, that they're not as good, or they're not good enough to sit at your table. They're not good enough to eat with you or fit in with your clique. But go take a real good look in the mirror. Get offline. Stop pushing those fingers against the keyboard. Get offline and go look in the mirror. Are you really in shape like you should be? How really is your health? And how is the health of your whole family? What is the health of your kids? Are they in shape? Are they getting the exercise they need to get? How is your pocketbook? How is now what you show us, but how many assets do you really have? Like, what really is your network? And what really is your network? Who really is in your network? Like, don't just get on social media and high side, the areas that you think, are all gravy, when there are other areas of your life that still need improvement, because none of us have it all together, so none of us really can afford, not even you. I love what he said. Like, he's like, well, who is this message for? And who are you talking to? We're talking to whoever's listening. If it apply to you, then let it apply to your life. And if it don't apply, let it fly. But we are definitely talking to you, and we're even talking to ourselves. So cut the crap, you know. And some people are more patient. So while some people want to go around, you want to smack up everybody that's not falling in your line of order of things. What Gab is saying is like, okay, you can't just slap everybody. Don't go slap everybody, because some people really need our patience. Some people really need our love. Some people really need our support because they've been through something. There are some major things that contributed to them being a Pookie and a Ray Ray, or that contributed to them being a single mother. Something that, hell, something contributed to them, to their ratchetness or whatever. Something contributed to that. And there is some brokenness that's happening with a lot of people. And instead of just crapping on people all the time, take some time to be a little patient and actually listen to some people. And that takes nurturing. But if you're not nurturing of yourself, and nurturing of yourself is not just going out, and just trying to accumulate things, houses, land, money, cars, that's not really just working on yourself, but the nurturing is nurturing on your person, nurturing on your character, nurturing on your state of mind, nurturing your emotions, nurturing your spirit, all of the nurturing your soul, all of the things that actually contribute to you being a better person. And a better person, not just for yourself, but for other people. And if you can do it, guess what? Somebody else can do it too. They really didn't break the mold when they made you. They like they really didn't. The universe didn't collide and didn't come to an end because you were brought forth. And because whatever knowledge that you have acquired, the universe can say, okay, that's it. We don't need anything or anybody else. Sorry, you're not that special. You're special, yes, but you're not that special. So just like someone probably invested in you, or you invested in yourself, somebody else needs that same nurturing, that same patience. And does that mean that we can salvage and restore everybody? No, it doesn't. But it also means you don't give up on everybody either. You don't put these generalizations so broad that you are the only one left out of the generalization. Because now this is my spin. Newsflash: if all of the black women are effed up, that means you're effed up too. If all of the black men are effed up, guess what? That means you're effed up too. If everyone of the opposite sex is effed up, that means you also are effed up. So where's the room to throw out the crap, to smear crap? No one really has a lot of room to smear crap. So either be a part of cleaning up the crap or help, or don't do anything but admit, be willing to admit that you too are pretty crappy. Cut the crap. Check yourself. Be honest, with yourself. Look at the man in the mirror. A lot of times while we're out here pointing our fingers at other people, you got fingers pointing right back at yourself. So check yourself. Stop running around all these different platforms. Stop running around in other places, not just even on social media, but just stop running around in life like you're the end all be all, and like your rule of thumb is the end all be all, because it is not. And either you are a part of the solution or you are a part of the problem. Either you are a part of the solution or you are a part of the problem. Complaining is easy. Sitting idly by and just watching things happen and letting things happen as they come and as they may is easy. Only working on yourself, as challenging as it may be, is still easy and easier than working to help other people. That's the easy route. But we're all in this world and we're all in this society together. So all of us feel the effect of the regression as well as the progression. All of us. You're either affected directly or indirectly, but nevertheless, you are affected. If you're broken, you know, um, or hurting, or everything didn't work out for you in a love life, well, guess what? Going around sleeping with everybody is not the answer. It may seem like the answer, but because it feels good, or it stops you from really looking at the man or the woman in the mirror to see what's wrong, what could possibly be wrong with you, that you can't find somebody to be loyal or faithful to you. Like for some reason, no one is good enough for you. And because no one is good enough for you, that means that no one is good enough for anybody else. Oh, but because we're living in a different society, it's a different era, right? It's a different era. There is nothing new under the sun. Boo, booette. There is nothing new under the sun. Times have changed, but even though times have changed, things that are happening are not changed. They're not. All this stuff was going on before. They may be more advanced, which means it may take a lot more work. But either you're going to do the work or you're not. That's what it all boils down to. If people work as hard at their character, their integrity, their mental stability, and really solutions in the community, if they worked as hard on that as they did at making money, or worked as hard at that as they did on at being popular or fitting in, a whole lot of things that we're complaining about would actually be turned around. If more people actually read books, oh, there's a concept. There's a concept. If more people actually read a book, and instead of trying to complain about who wrote the book, like, well, I'm not going to read that book because, the white folks wrote that book, or the Hispanic wrote that book, or Chinese person wrote that book, so I'm not going to read that book. Newsflash. Every book that's written by a black person is not perfect either. It's not about the person that wrote the book, it's about the information in the book. Stop making excuses about why you don't want to pick up a freaking book. Stop making excuses about why you don't want to do something, try something different that's going to actually cause you to put in some real work. Because mental work is actually a lot harder than lifting weights. Catch that. Many people look really good on the outside, but it's not their outside that's the problem. Now, catch this. It's not the outside that's the problem. The problem is your effed up inside. That's the problem. That's the problem. If you look good on the outside, but you got an effed up mentality, you have not done us any good. You're just good to look at. Chocolate is really good to look at, but we shouldn't go around consuming a bunch of chocolate. As much as I do love chocolate, and I do love chocolate. So you can look good and have a terrible spirit, right? You can have really bad energy, and you wonder why everything around you, like, you're the only person on the job that's got all the complaints. Like, you have more complaints than anybody. But it's the job, right? It's the job. It's not you, it's the job. And it's not just that job, right? It was the job that you had before that job. And it was the job before that job. And it was the job before that job. So all of your complaints from job to job to job, to job to job to job, it's the supervisor, it's your co-workers, it's everybody but you, but you're the key factor. You're the key factor. Like, you're the constant in all of it. You're the constant, but you don't need any work. All your relationships fail. Every last single one of your relationships fail, but it's not you with the picking problem, right? It's the people that you pick. Has nothing to do with you. So every female that you come in contact with that's ratchet, that's a drag, that's a hoe, a gold digger, whatever, she's just a wreck. It has nothing at all to do with you. Every man that you choose, every man that you choose has broken your heart, has failed you. Every last single one of them. You can't, nobody, you've been with 30 men, and out of 30 men, nobody's done you right. Nobody. Not a single one. But it's not you. It's nothing with your program. It's nothing with your thing. Nobody can get along with you. Nobody. The only people that get along with you are people that cuss, fuss, and complain. Those are the only people that can get along with you. But you're not a problem. They're not a problem. It's you. It's everybody but you, right? No, that's not the case. That really is not the case. So marriage don't work, right? Marriage don't work. It's not working. But people have been married for 10, 15, 20 plus years. And newer generations, not just, great grandparents stuff, but like even now, like people have been married for 20, 30 years, 15 years, and are happy, but it don't work. No, maybe it's you. Really and truly. Or maybe it's your family. Maybe everybody around you, including you, just need to go get some therapy. Which is nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. But just because you can find people that can complain about the same thing that you complain about, don't make your complaints righteous. It just means that you found some other people that's just as effed up as you are to complain about stuff that other folks ain't complaining about. Now, I'm not saying that everyone has, that none of the complaints are valid, because some of the complaints are. But the thing is if you're not looking at yourself, especially if you've been complaining, if the older you get, the more complaints you have. Check this out. If the older you get, the more complaints you have, and you live long enough, that means you're going to get older. You don't think that just maybe, it might be the man looking back or the woman looking back at you from the mirror? Like, just maybe? If other people are actually successful in other areas of your life where you're not successful, is it possible that maybe you could borrow a page from their book instead of writing and rewriting in your sad, sorry, sympathy, lame journal? Is it possible that just maybe you should take a page out of somebody else's book? Growth happens over time. It doesn't happen overnight. Transformation happens over time. It does not happen overnight. But you people act like, a lot of folks with all these major complaints, y'all act like you came here into this existence and into this with all this knowledge, and like the stars just lit up just for you. And like it was like it was just this one great big platinum spoon feeding you all of the luxuries and pleasures of life, and you didn't have to do any work, or no one before you had to do any work. Newsflash, that is not the case. And if you really and truly feel like that is the case, you are such a narcissist. Now, this is my own recap. Now, this is what Gab said with my spin on it too as well at this point. But if that's the case, if you feel like that, you are just a narcissistic person. You really have a huge, grandiose sense of self. And the reason why things don't work out for you as much is because you pretty much feel you have a false sense of entitlement, because you're just so grandiose, and it's nauseating because you don't even see the sickness. So you other folks just getting sick around you. Eventually, they keep listening and keep being fed the BS, and they start getting sick. But when they start throwing up and start detoxing, start clearing, then they can see things a little clearer, and they realize where the sickness came from. So cut the crap. People with a moral code, those of us that have a moral code, the reason why the people keep yelling for accountability and responsibility and separate themselves from those who don't want to hear those words and do reflection and introspection, the reason why we do this is because we have a moral code. And our moral code is a part of who we are. It's a part of our core being. It's not a compromise. And it takes work. You know what I'm saying? It takes some serious sacrifices, some studying to be the kind of people that even want accountability. But the accountability is not just for you, it's for us too. We actually need people and want people to hold us accountable too. We're not trying to fall into the BS and the dysfunction. We work and we pray and we fast and we study and we read books and we invest in ourselves. Like, seriously, invest financially in ourselves, on our mind, on our spirit, on our character, We don't do that work so that we can regress and so that we can be around people that want to continue to feed this function. Who does that? Who graduates from high school and decide they're going to go back to elementary and sit in a second grade desk? Who does that? Nobody in their right mind does that. And that is essentially what the expectation is of people that say, don't, no, what you're doing and what you're asking for don't work. We don't need that. We don't want that. Meanwhile, we're looking at your freaking house on fire. We talking about we got some water, and you're like, no, water don't work. Let me just talk about my house being on fire. Cut the crap. We're gonna have to work together to build, and we need healing all across the board. Not even just in the Black community, because moral code and righteousness, standard, integrity, believe it or not, that's not a racial thing. That's not a cultural thing. That is a person thing. That's an individual thing. That's a societal thing. That's not isolated to just one group of people. So that's it in a nutshell. Let us work on each other. Let us work on ourselves so that we can help each other. Either you're part of the problem or part of the solution. Which one do you choose to be? And that's a wrap. Peace. Thank you all for coming through.